Sometime later, Akiko and Rokuro came together and found me in the street near Katsumi's place. I was watching the passers-by, hoping Katsumi would show up around the corner any minute.
Here we are! We came as fast as we could.
Luckily, I'm in good shape. So I had no trouble running all the way to the metro station. Akiko literally dragged me out of the bed and made me go out right away.
And thank you guys.
Hey, no problem. I wouldn't do this for anybody else, you know.
Same goes for me. You're my best friend. You can always count on me.
That's so nice to hear. Now, let me tell you what I got. They were all taken by surprise when they heard that Katsumi was employed in ChatLinx and that Mizuki's father was the owner of the company.
Things are becoming clear now.
I can't believe how sneaky Katsumi is. So that's why he insisted we should all use ChatLinx? Just so he could get a bonus on his salary for attracting new users?
Don't jump to conclusions, Rokuro. We can't know that for sure.
Alright, it's true, but I'm neither stupid or incapable of making conclusions on my own.
Take a deep breath, Rokuro. Remember, we're here to find answers. We shouldn't take anything for granted.
Katsumi would have never used us to get a promotion. Just let me finish, okay?
Sorry, go on. What else did Mizuki tell you?
Mizuki's hoping that Katsumi will report for work soon because otherwise he's gonna get fired. She asks me to give him back the keys of his apartment if I happen to see him again.
You have the keys to his apartment! That's exactly what we need.
Rokuro, you of all people should know that what you're thinking about is against the law.
And I don't feel comfortable breaking into somebody's apartment.
Girls, this is not a matter of what's right or wrong, but rather what's necessary. For all we know, Katsumi's hiding for some reason. And we may find out why he's doing it. Think about that. Would you get into his apartment if you could save his life?
In that case, I wouldn't think twice. I'd break into his apartment without thinking and find a way to save his life.
I'd go into his apartment for no reason at all. Out of pure curiosity.
You're not alone in this, and you won't be the only one responsible. I'll be the one to do it, and in case, feel free to tell them what I said.
All right, Rokuro. I believe you know what you're doing.
Even if he doesn't, Rokuro will find a loophole and pull through.
Thanks, Akiko, for admitting I'm good at least at one thing.
You have more than one great skill, Rokuro. You just don't want to show them.
You're busted, mister. You're actually a sweetheart.
Stop messing with me, Akiko. Don't make me start digging for a reason why you've built up walls around yourself.
Guys, you're over the line.
She started it.
Rokuro, you're acting like a child. Here, take Kazumi's keys. Let's get this over with already. Akiko took my hand as she would usually do. And we headed there first, leaving Rokuro behind. I felt it was getting chilly, so I rubbed my hands together to warm them up.
I can give you my sweatshirt if you're cold.
Why not? That's very sweet of you. Are you sure you're not cold?
Absolutely. I got myself warmed up already.
Rokuro, you really have a thing for weird stuff, you know?
Akiko, you're a weirdo too, but loves you anyways.
Couldn't agree more.
I give up.
Yes, I win!
Rokuro, you'd better stop pushing your luck.
Yes, ma'am. Just keep walking. You two go first.
Rokuro was walking behind us and texting. Or whatever else he was doing, and he didn't want us to look at him. At some point, I turned around to see if he was still a long way behind, only to catch he raised his cell phone and took a photo of Akiko and me. Or just me, I wasn't sure. Rokudo, did you just take a photo of us?
Maybe.
Who's a weirdo now?
Show me the photo, Rokudo!
I'll send it to you later, I promise. Let's quit fighting now and do as we agreed.
Rokudo unlocked the door to Katsumi's apartment and went in. Rokudo unlocked Katsumi's apartment, only after no one answered the door. Akiko and I were standing outside, waiting for Rokudo's sign to go in.
Girls, at first glance, it seems like everything is in place. Katsumi's PC is still on, but that's a regular thing.
So we can get in?
Yes.
I have to warn you, please don't touch anything. And don't leave your fingerprints. In fact, it would be best if you didn't move anything.
We watched crime TV shows too.
I only hope this doesn't turn into a crime movie.
Stay positive. Imagine Katsumi with some girl.
You're such an idiot, Rokuro.
I didn't fall for Rokudo's teasing, as I knew he was just doing it to see how I'd react, or if I'd show any sign of jealousy. He could have asked me openly what he wanted instead of playing games.
We have to start somewhere.
First things first, go check his PC and see who's the last person he chatted with.
You hit the spot.
Makes sense. It's not like we'd find anything by lifting the couch. Except dirty socks, that is.
Katsumi's computer is not locked.
There's no reason for that when you live on your own.
Man, look at yourself. Sitting at after you got into his apartment, thanks to the keys he lost.
Katsumi couldn't count on this scenario.
Luckily for us, let's see. This computer is full of ChatLinx data files.
He works for the company. Nothing odd about that.
What's in those data files?
Now that I read the names, I can say I don't like what I see at all.
Oh no. Show me.
Look, this database is titled Users.
ChatLinx app users?
Yeah,
Those data should be confidential.
tell it to Mizuki's father.
And what do we learn from this? Katsumi was sticking his nose where it didn't belong. And he can't show up at work because he'd get arrested.
And we almost made it all easier for the police.
It's just an assumption, though. We can't know what Katsumi's intentions were.
Katsumi would never use his job post for some illegal business.
I believe you. You know him best.
No matter how well you know somebody, there's always something they decide to keep from you.
Rokudo couldn't find any info about where Katsumi could be at that moment. So we were left with no other choice but to wait for Katsumi to contact us.
Sorry I let you down. I thought I'd dig up some important info that would lead us to Katsumi.
We're gonna find him, Rokudo. I know that. I have a hunch.
It's no use sweating over this anymore. Let's go home.
Akiko, show some understanding for her feelings. Her best friend went missing.
Wow, hats off to Rokuro.
Akiko angrily headed toward the door and bumped into a cupboard. The bump forced it open, and then we just couldn't believe what we saw. A bundle of notes of different currencies together with Katsumi's personal documents were lying neatly packed with arm's reach.
Check this out. An emergency kit. Some cash, his passport.
He didn't take it with him, which means he didn't plan to escape.
Why doesn't he keep his money in a bank like everyone else does?
He could do that. If the origin of the money was clear, I mean.
Listen, we'll put everything back to its place and then we're out of here, okay? I'm not gonna be the one to call the police and put Katsumi behind bars.
Neither am I, but this double-edged sword.
If we report the case, Katsumi will be safe and protected.
Where? In jail?
You don't want your friend to rot in jail, do you?
I don't, but leaving things to fate is not a great solution either.
We tried everything.
Come, I'm taking you home. We'll keep in touch. If anyone hears from Katsumi, he or she lets the others know, okay? Do we have a deal?
Yeah, sure.
Deal, Rokudo. The same night, I criticized myself for not being able to find the time to get back to my books, and used that small amount of time I was left for studying. I arrived home, glanced at my desk piled with books and notes, and I gave up. It's no use. I can't focus on studying, because I keep thinking about Katsumi. I didn't have the strength to do anything else but scroll down the pages and posts on social networks and watch every single cat video I could find. Everything was way more interesting than studying. Soon it will be 24 hours since Katsumi turned into a ghost. Only now do I realize how much his text meant to me. I opened ChatLinx and read some of the most recent texts sent by Katsumi. They all made me smile. Except the last one, of course. Everything we found out so far has something to do with ChatLinx. That doesn't surprise me though, as the app is beginning to affect our lives more with every new day. The next moment, Rokudo was already texting me, as he saw I was online. I didn't turn off that option cause subconsciously I also wanted to know who of my friends were available for chatting. That was how ChatLinx was affecting our lives. If I hadn't opened the app, Rokudo might have never contacted me. It looks like Rokudo's having trouble falling asleep too. My heart was beating like crazy and my hands shaking uncontrollably while I was texting Katsumi. I felt I was playing games with the guys' hearts, just like they were doing it with my feelings. They had no idea how their texts affected me. I need to breathe in some fresh air to come to my senses. I don't feel any more relieved now that I heard Katsumi. And I thought I'd already be over this whole— well, in fact, now I'm even more confused than earlier. I completely forgot about Rokuto while I was planning my next move. Katsumi was a mysterious and extremely intelligent guy. I was never bored in his company. Rokuto was passionate and bursting with desire to impress me in any way he could. He was a bragger, but I was equally drawn to his energy, just like I was drawn to Katsumi's mysteriousness. Rokuto's still waiting for my response, and Katsumi expects me to show up at the arranged spot in the dead of night. And I want to be in both places with my whole being. But the heart only craves him. I would bitterly regret it if I stayed home right now and didn't run straight into Katsumi's arms. I was thinking about the consequences or dangers that I may encounter. I just had to see him. I had to make sure he was okay, and that whatever I was feeling wasn't transitory. I let Rokuto know that I'd heard from Katsumi and that everything was alright. He didn't ask anything. I rushed out of my place, counting on the fact that Mom wouldn't even notice I was gone, and that I'd be back before she got up. I wasn't even thinking about the danger I was exposing myself to. The desire to see Katsumi was way stronger than anything else. After less than half an hour, I arrived at the spot where I'd last seen him. It seemed desolate and eerie. Katsumi, please be here. I didn't dare shout or call his name. Then, out of the blue, a tiny shred of doubt appeared in my mind. I entered ChatLinx and texted Katsumi. "You better not be lying to me." He replied immediately, saying we were but a few steps apart. I turned my phone screen off and looked up. So that my eyes could adjust to the darkness, and then I spotted Katsumi leaned against a nearby tree. His face was showing a sign of relief and was glowing in the moonlight. Out of nowhere, we suddenly found ourselves rushing into each other's arms. I jumped and wrapped my legs around his waist. He was holding me tightly and kissing me passionately until we both ran out of breath.
Forgive me. I needed to get away from people, from everything.
You'll explain everything later. Now I only want you to shut up and kiss me. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. He didn't hesitate a second. He held me firmly in his arms and kissed me with all the energy and desire he'd been suppressing for so long. He kept kissing me and pulling me toward him so firmly that I was literally left without breath. Finally, he slowly made a step back, looked me in the eye, and started talking.
I did something stupid. I was hoping for good money. But it turns out I encountered a beast which is impossible to feed. Now I have just two choices. Run away forever, or always keep the beast fed.
Oh my god, Katsumi. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I hugged him and let him rest his head on my chest. He listened to my heartbeats and breathed in the same rhythm. And then he started opening his heart.